For this week's lab, standardization of an NaOH solution. I've had a few questions about step 4 of the procedure. First of all, it's important to read the background information that goes with the lab, because in the background information, it shows us that benzoic acid, C7H6O2, reacts with sodium hydroxide, NaOH, to make, this is called sodium benzoate, and water. So see, what has happened here is that one of the H's is gone for the product, and the reason for that is because this H was donated to the OH from the sodium hydroxide. HOH makes water. Okay, so why is it important to know this balanced equation? Because the balanced equation shows us that 1 mole of benzoic acid reacts with 1 mole of sodium hydroxide. Now, in step 1 and 2 of your procedure from your lab, you were told that you would get 0.8 grams of sodium hydroxide and dissolve it in 200 milliliters of water. So, 0.800 grams of sodium hydroxide in 200 milliliters of water, and we are told that that will give us a 0.100 molar sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, let me show you how we know that's 0.1 molar. First of all, molarity is moles per liter. 0.8 grams of sodium hydroxide, how do we figure out how many moles that is? Okay, the molar mass of sodium hydroxide, we're told, is 39.997. I think it's what it gives you in the background of your lab, which we can just get that from adding up the numbers from the periodic table. Okay. That tells us we have 0.0200 moles of sodium hydroxide. That number tells us the moles. We're dividing it by the liters. 200 milliliters is 0.2 liters, so 0.02 divided by 0.2 gives us 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. Okay, so that's how we know it's 0.1 molar. Now the question says, in problem 4, it says calculate the mass of benzoic acid. So how many grams of benzoic acid are needed to react with 20 milliliters of 0.10 molar sodium hydroxide? So first what we have to do, guys, 20 milliliters of 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide, how many moles of sodium hydroxide is that? We're going back to this formula. Molarity is equal to moles per liter. The molarity is 0.100 molar. 20 milliliters is 0.020 liters. We cross multiply, right? 0.1 times 0.02, and we find that what we've got here is 0.00200, etc., moles of NaOH. And you can write that in scientific notation if you'd like. Okay, so that's how much sodium hydroxide we have. Let me take you back briefly to the previous slide. The balanced equation said every 1 sodium hydroxide needs 1 benzoic acid. So, if that's our moles of sodium hydroxide, then that 1-to-1 ratio tells us that that's how many moles of benzoic acid we need as well. So now we know moles of benzoic acid, but question 4 of the procedure says calculate the mass you would need. How do you convert from moles to grams? Moles to grams, you multiply by molar mass. So we have 2.00, I'm switching to scientific notation, 2.00 times 10 to the minus 3 moles of benzoic acid. That is the same as 0.002 moles that I had on the previous slide. And I know that a mole of benzoic acid, I'm going to label it B acid, I know that the molar mass of benzoic acid is 122.12. I'm given that information in the pre-lab. I could also add that information up from the molar masses on a periodic table. Okay, so I simply multiply this out, and I calculate that I need 0.2442 grams of benzoic acid. And that should help you get through number 4 of the procedure for the standardization of the sodium hydroxide lab.